The Harmattan wind swept through the outskirts of Dakar, carrying dust and secrets. I still remember the night my brother sold me. "Look at me and deny it," I said, my voice steady but bleeding inside. Emeka avoided my eyes. "You think I wanted this?" he muttered. I laughed. A bitter laugh. "You ate my food. You slept in my house. You called me brother," he snapped, "and you enjoyed being the hero. That hurt. People in the neighborhood called me generous. I built my small transport business from nothing." When Emeka arrived from St. Louis with empty pockets, I opened my door without hesitation. But generosity creates witnesses. Witnesses create comparison. "You were always the golden one," he continued. "People praised you while I stood beside you like furniture. So you betrayed me." Silence. Outside, a neighbor's radio played soft Malak's music, almost mocking us. That morning, police raided my warehouse. Someone reported stolen imported electronics hidden inside my cargo containers.
Clear the area!
Only 3 people knew the access code. And one of them had just confessed with his silence. "You sold me," I whispered. He finally looked up. "I just told them where you keep your secrets." "My secrets?" I stepped closer. "Or your envy?" The worst part. I wasn't angry about the police. I was angry that I still wanted to forgive him. Emeka later told me how it happened. It started at a nightclub in Dakar's Plateau district. A man in a white bubu approached him. "You are tired of living under another man's shadow," the stranger said smoothly. Emeka denied it. But the man listed things only someone watching closely would know. "You use his car. You introduce yourself as his cousin. Even your girlfriend respects him more." That last one burned. The stranger continued, "One word from you, and your life changes." "At whose expense?" Emeka asked. The man smiled. "Every promotion requires replacement." He promised Emeka ownership shares. Money. Recognition. A seat at the table instead of crumbs. The deal. Information. Where I stored goods. When shipments arrived. Which customs officers I trusted. "They said you would survive," Emeka later admitted. "Just lose power." But power in Senegal is not something you lose quietly. It explodes. By midnight, he had spoken. By morning, my warehouse was sealed. By afternoon, social media labeled me a smuggler. By evening, my fiancé stopped answering my calls. Freedom, he thought, had arrived. But betrayal doesn't free you. It hires you as its next victim. The scandal spread like wildfire in Medina. Kolu the fraud. Kolu the smuggler. Men who once borrowed money from me crossed the street to avoid eye contact. My fiancé's father called off our wedding. "We cannot tie our daughter to disgrace," he said coldly. The humiliation cut deeper than the investigation. At the police station, I saw Emeka standing beside the same man in white. That was when I understood. This wasn't about justice. It was strategy. The white-robed stranger wasn't a businessman. He was my competitor. And Emeka had handed him ammunition. When our eyes met, I didn't shout. I simply asked, was I that unbearable to stand beside? He flinched. "I wanted my own name," he whispered. And now? He had no answer. Charges were filed. Assets frozen. Accounts investigated. My name dragged through the mud. But here's the twist. There were no stolen goods. Just planted evidence. Someone needed me out of the way to win a major government transport contract. And betrayal was cheaper than competition. The real shock came later. My fiancée, Isetu, requested to see me. "I didn't know," she said, crying. But I noticed something strange. She wore a bracelet I had never seen before. Gold. Expensive. Gifted recently. From whom? The white-robed businessman. My competitor. I felt the world tilt. You too? I asked quietly. She couldn't hold my gaze. The pieces aligned. Emeka wasn't the mastermind. He was the door. Isetu was the inside accomplice. The rival needed information from outside and distraction from within. Love had been part of the strategy. You both ate at my table, I said. And you both sold me. This time, there was no anger. Only clarity. And clarity is more dangerous than rage. My accounts were frozen for 3 months. Friends disappeared. Family members advised me to leave Dakar. But I stayed. Silently investigating. I hired a journalist I once helped during her university days. She dug deeper. Custom officers were bribed. Documents forged. Containers swapped at the port. And guess whose signature appeared approving certain transfers? Emeka's. He had officially joined my competitor's company. Promotion secured. Shadow erased. Or so he thought. Because the journalist found something else. The rival planned to discard him once the contract was won. Betrayal has no loyalty clause. The government transport contract was announced publicly. My competitor celebrated early. Lavish party. Cameras flashing. Emeka stood beside him, smiling awkwardly. Then the journalist released her report. Live. On national television. Evidence of fraud. Manipulation. Port tampering. And one recorded phone call. The white-robed businessman saying, once we win, cut him off. He's disposable. The camera zoomed in on Emeka's face. Shock. Realization. Public humiliation. The same humiliation I had tasted. He had traded brotherhood for temporary applause. And applause fades faster than loyalty. Investigations reopened. This time, I wasn't the accused. I was the victim. My competitor was arrested. Isetu vanished from social circles overnight. And Emeka. He lost everything. Job. Reputation. Relationship. He came to my house again. But this time, he stood outside the gate. Not inside the dining room. I was used, he said. I looked at him carefully. No, I replied. You volunteered. Silence. He wept openly. I wanted your life. And now? I just want my brother. The words hit hard. But wounds need time before touch. I chose not to press additional charges against him. The law punished enough. But forgiveness is not restoration. You are free, I told him. But you won't return to my business. He nodded slowly. I understand. That was growth. Painful growth. He left Dakar to start fresh in Kaolack. No connections. No shortcuts. Just sweat. Meanwhile, I rebuilt. Stronger. Wiser. More private. Trust became expensive. 2 years later, Emeka returned. Different posture. Different eyes. He brought documents. Proof of a new logistics company he built alone. Small. Honest. He placed them on my table. I don't want your position, he said. I want partnership. Partnership. Not dependency. Not shadow. Not rivalry. Equal footing. I studied him carefully. This time, I saw no envy. Only humility. And hunger, but not the dangerous kind. We signed nothing that night. We just ate. Quietly. Side by side. You ate with me, I said softly. And I sold you, he replied. And now? Now I choose loyalty over ego. I leaned back. In Senegal, I told him, people fear hunger. But they should fear comparison more. He nodded. Because comparison nearly destroyed us both. We agreed to collaborate slowly. Cautiously. No blind trust. No secret codes. Just transparency. As the Dakar skyline shimmered in the distance, I realized something. The betrayal didn't end my story. It refined it. But here's the truth. Some scars reopen when money grows again. And power attracts new enemies. Was this reconciliation permanent? Or simply the calm before a greater storm? Part 2 may reveal. When brothers rebuild together, who fears their unity?
I kindly plead with our first-time viewers to kindly subscribe to our channel. And to our dearest subscribers, thank you for joining us again. Please help to like, drop a comment, and click on the notification bell to always get our new videos. Thank you.